Well, welcome to the podcast. Very excited today because someone who has taught me a lot, Sotidis, is here to help us as NDIS providers know exactly how to use LinkedIn well. Because LinkedIn is this wonderland where you can end up with so many referrals by using LinkedIn properly, and that's what Con's specialty is. Now, Con, just being real, if there's someone here who hates LinkedIn, go and pick a different episode. Okay, go and find the Paul Bryan episode, the Tanya Gomez episode. Go and find whatever episode. This episode here is specifically for people who already use LinkedIn. So, Con, why LinkedIn? Why are you so excited about LinkedIn? Why have you taught me so much about LinkedIn? And who are the people you follow on LinkedIn?
Well, Michael, I'll start off by saying years ago, I actually found a sheet, and I'm going to post it on LinkedIn later today. I was one of the top tweeters um, in the world when it came to HR, because I was in the HR space. So I was a bit on Twitter. I mean, I use that as loosely, but meaning that I had about 10, 12,000 followers, which is pretty big on Twitter those days. We're talking about 2015, around there. So then I got into BDM roles. And as I got into BDM roles, I started coming across this thing called LinkedIn. Once I started using LinkedIn, Michael, my world just went bang, as in literally bang. The connections I was able to make, I was able to interact with people I admired, people looked up to, people in the world that were other HR, L&D gurus, professionals. And here I am having a conversation with them. I'm thinking, what? They're talking to little Con in little Melbourne, talking to some guy in Los Angeles or in California, and I'm thinking, wow. So for me, I go, this is an amazing tool. And we're talking about now, I've just done my 18 years, I think it was. So I talk about, a long time ago on LinkedIn. So, and they go, what? So then I got into BDM roles and thought, I started use it as a prospecting tools. Now, in the past, Michael, I don't know if you've been to looking at some of the history with LinkedIn. LinkedIn was a place you'd go to find a new job. You'd be retrenched or you'd move on looking for something new. Hey, go and put a profile on LinkedIn. Someone will find you. It was known to be a recruiter's platform. What LinkedIn has done more recently, but maybe the last 10 years, he's tried to create and probably morphed into more a recruiting platform, but also a business-to-business platform, a professional networking platform. And once I saw that, I go, wow, this is it. This is the area I've got to focus in. So I got into that and I was very successful using LinkedIn as a tool to connect, nurture, and let's be honest, as a salesperson in BDM, to prospect and generate sales. So I used it and generated multi-million dollar accounts with companies I work for, mainly work for LMS companies, which is in the learning space, as you may know. So we imagine systems, e-learning companies and one of the training companies. I even did quantity surveying for a while. So all while using LinkedIn as a prospecting tool. So once I saw what value could add to me, I got myself educated. I did a couple of courses, qualified from the Agora Pulse Social Media Manager School. Then did some more courses, been always learning, always doing more. Every time I see a new LinkedIn course, I will just join it for the fun of it and always looking to develop myself. So I hope that sums it up, Michael.
It's amazing. And it shows you didn't get where you are by being lucky. People have this idea, oh, someone will get lucky and suddenly they're famous on LinkedIn. No, it's because you learnt the skills, you implemented, and you're constantly building your skills.
Yeah.
And I think that's fantastic. And the thing is, as an NDIS provider, LinkedIn is if you go back a year and a half ago, LinkedIn was useless as an NDIS provider compared to now.
Yeah.
Okay. Back a year and a half ago, you would put your time into Facebook. Now, forget Facebook, go on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is where you can get with other leaders in NDIS world and you can talk about real things.
Correct. That's right. So it's so right because I tell you what, I've been in the NDI space for nearly 25 years with my son. So I've got lived experience, but I managed to always be different roles. So the last 4 years, 3 or 4 years, I managed to get in the NDI space as a plan manager, then support coordinator, and now become an NDIS consultant, a bit like yourself. But what I noticed about all the years I spent in this BDM in different industries, NDIS is unique in one way. It's a lot more relationship focused than all the other industries. The other industries, you've got a product. I had a demo of a SaaS system. I would demo that. I'll demo the e-learning product, and that would be able to be the sales pitch and the sell. In NDIS, we don't have a demo. We don't have a sales pitch. We don't have a product or widget to sell. What we're selling, part of the phrase, is our relationships. It's our connections. It's our authenticity. And LinkedIn gives you that ability to connect with other providers to collaborate. Yes, you can go on Facebook and find all these people trawling Facebook to look for for prospects and leads. You might get one, you might get two. But guys, the way the system works in NDIS, and I've been managing this and looking at it very closely, it's about relationships. So Michael, you know that better than me too. Relationships, networking, talking.
So, Con, the remarkable thing about what you're saying about NDIS being about relationships is you and I met because, I think it was Paul Bryan who said, you need to meet Con Sotidis. I'm like, okay. I just sent you a message and suddenly we're on a Zoom chat.
I had seen you, but I had seen you with James. I think you did a podcast with James.
Love date.
That's a couple of videos. And I did my due diligence. I said, tell me about this Clark guy. And he goes, no, you got to connect with him. He goes, he's amazing. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I feel the same way about James. But again, none of this would have happened without LinkedIn. If all else we're using Facebook.
Correct.
Because LinkedIn doesn't just let you know that person exists. It gives you a way to access them.
So, Michael, this is where now we can start getting to nitty-gritty. That's why it's important to have a really good profile.
Yep.
So when I go to Michael Clark and I see his profile, I see what he does, I go, wow. Straight away I get an indication of what Michael's about, what value he adds, the kind of people he supports. I look at his experience, look at his about section. So that's why I say to providers, have a good profile, because when you get that connection, when someone looks at your profile, the first thing you want them to say is, wow, okay. Oh, that's the kind of guy I want to work with. I need to talk to him about this or that. So you want to create that curiosity. And that's why, you did the due diligence on me. I did it on you. You looked at my profile, did yours, and go, wow, this kind of guy aligns with me. So moral of the story, the first point here, have a really solid profile.
So true. And another thing with that, the sound of sticky tape on a podcast, go figure. Another thing with between our profiles is in the LinkedIn course I do, I actually get people to not focus on their profile for the first couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Because it's like, if I try to show people, Con, that LinkedIn is a cafe, okay?
Yes.
Facebook or Instagram is a broadcast. Look at me.
It's a market. I call it a market.
Yeah, it's a market. Whereas LinkedIn is a cafe where you hang out with people. Now, before I walk into a cafe, Con, do I get my hair just right? Do I fix my shirt? No, I just walk in and I order a coffee and I chat with people. And so in the LinkedIn course I do, I'm like, the first 3 weeks, get your profile adequate and then just focus on posting. But then later we go back and fix in the details of your profile, because I feel like people are looking more at your banner and then your about you, like the first sentence or two. And then after that, they seem to look at the posts. And then after that, they may consider other factors. So,
But can I take that cafe analogy a bit further?
Go.
Okay, that's really good strategy, Michael. I like that. But just imagine you walk into a cafe and someone says, hey, Michael, how are you? And you look around and go, I don't know this guy. I don't know this lady. Geez. I'm great. How are you? I saw your post the other day on LinkedIn. Wow. And it's happened to me. It's probably happened to you.
Yeah, it does.
I was walking there to a coffee catch up and people say, hey, Connor. So, sorry, who are you? And I do it, yeah. And they say, oh, I've seen you on LinkedIn. So that's what you're saying. That analogy is great. And then the next part is when people start saying, hey, I know you.
That's right. And the other thing is, are you someone people would want to know? Like,
Correct.
That's right. So I wanted to meet up with you because, and all these NDS providers listening to this going, where are they going with this podcast? We're trying to show you that LinkedIn is not a broadcasting tool. It's a connection tool. So Con, when I met with you, it was because Paul Bryan recommended you. I'm pretty sure it was Paul Bryan. And he's like, oh, you love LinkedIn. Do you know Con Sotidis? I'm like, no, I've never heard of this guy, but cool name.
But did you see what Paul did there? Did you see what they straight away? Paul remembered the one and only guy he knows is big on does LinkedIn for providers.
Yeah. Yes.
So you Paul watching this, thanks Paul. But somehow or other, I've become memorable to Paul for LinkedIn for NDIS providers. So to some extent, tick for Con. I've achieved that.
You've achieved it by consistently posting things that are relevant and not self-serving, not by Con's stuff. It's here's what Con's learning, here's what Con's doing, here's how Con's helping. That's
it for hints and strategies. That's it. That's what I try to do. Just share all the time, the tools I'm using, whatever it might be.
That's right. And then the other thing with how LinkedIn really works, because people initially, get my profile looking decent, not perfect, decent. Have some posts that are useful, not perfect, not, 1,000 words, the stuff that Michael would write or Paul Bryan would write or Tanya Gomez, Tanya Gomez Would write. I got confused with Vanessa Norman. Not we don't need essays. We just need you to post a couple of sentences that are real and helpful.
Be authentic.
Yeah.
That's it.
But like, why is be authentic even a word? Why isn't
No,
that just like do real life?
it should be our given. You're right.
But it is a word now because
But yeah, you're right, it is. But on the other hand, remember this also our personal brand. And if I go back to that sort of wives tale or mother's tale, we all grew up with the same thing. Hey, Michael, hey, Con, your parents will say to you, all you have is your good name. All you have is your name in this world, you know? You come into this world, you leave this world, all you have is your name. The wealth is gone. People remember you for who you are. So what we try to do on LinkedIn is try to keep that brand. That's why I'm into personal branding. Try to keep that good name alive and well. Try to keep that brand strong. No matter what you say, no matter what you do, people will remember what? They remember how you made them feel and what they learned from you.
that's quality, mate. That's quality. And I guess the other thing that comes out of you saying that is you can hide on Facebook, you can be fake. If you try and be fake on LinkedIn, I mean, eventually people will cotton on.
Correct.
You know, and so when and you and I interact often like just by voicemails on LinkedIn or by text on LinkedIn, which again, all these NDIS providers like, what? You can operate by voicemail on LinkedIn? Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Okay. It's
Yeah.
it's like you're always the same guy, and I trust you because we've had probably like you and I have caught up probably 2 or 3 times for real, but probably about 30 or 50 micro interactions.
On a platform, yeah. That's right. Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
amazing. Like,
yeah, it is.
so
It
what
is.
would you be saying? Because like we're preaching to the choir here, but what would you be saying to any any NDS provider, whether they're the owner or whether they're a BDM or whether they're the person who empties the bins?
Yeah.
When they're on LinkedIn, what could they be doing today that would mean that in the future they're going to have those referrals coming?
So my suggestion whenever I pick up a new client is one of the first things we do is we tell their story. So people and LinkedIn loves personal stories. How did Michael get into this? Yeah, well, what's Michael done? So the way we start off by saying is, let's say me, hi, I'm Con. I've had 25 years experience with NDIS, with managing my son. I've had a lot of ups and downs and challenges. I'm now moving into the NDIS space a lot more, trying out. So telling your story, put a nice picture of yourself. A selfie works very well. A selfie is amazing. A nice selfie. So, and if you haven't been on LinkedIn for a while and you get into it again, hi, LinkedIn. It's been a while since I've introduced myself. I thought I'd do it again. This is who I am. This is my background. This is my story. This is where I am now. This is where I'm heading. Those things work really well on LinkedIn. The algorithm loves a personal story, and also as human beings, we love interacting socially. Hey, Michael, it's great to hear your story. Yeah, I've got a very similar one, and I'd love to tell you my story too. Great, let's connect. Yeah. So a personal story. So if you're starting off as an NDIS provider, whether you've been 1 year or 3 years and you haven't done much LinkedIn, get on there and tell us your story. Tell us your background. Tell us who you are. Tell us what got you into NDIS. Tell us what you're passionate about. Make yourself memorable in that first post.
Wow. Okay. So I'm sitting here, Con, and I'm listening to this and I'm like, oh, okay. I'm probably not doing that so much. Most of my posts are here's what your next step is. Here's what you do. Here's how you solve this. Because I guess for me, Con, I feel conflicted here. And by the way, everyone listening, you're going to feel conflicted and you're going to have different styles from everyone else. And that's
Correct.
beautiful. But I do feel conflicted because I'm like, do I want to spend someone's thought time on here's what Michael used to do when he was an NDIS provider and here's why he jumped out of that game? Or do I want to spend my time going, here's a tool, go and use it? Like, what am I missing?
I'd say that. But once you've done your story and people have connected with you, that's it. You don't post and ghost. You follow up the next day with a content post. Thanks for all thanks for the support on my post yesterday. Introduced myself. I just want to now focus on a recent testimonial or a recent client we've dealt with. No name, no factuals. Person X was looking for a new steel house. We did this, we did that. Talk about what you did to achieve that. So you're right there. You don't want to waste your time doing that, but it's important to do that so people know who they're dealing with. And the next day or the day after, you create a value add, what I call a value add post to support who you are and what you do. Do you make sense? So I think again, Michael, you've also been in the industry for a while. People know you. So with all due respect, you don't have to do our introduction post. We know you already with your content, with your posting, all right? This is more for those first timers, or maybe the ones that have been 2 or 3 years not active on LinkedIn, this is a great opportunity to get in there, become active. But once you tell your story, please, please, please don't post and ghost. Follow up the next day, maybe the day afterwards, and tell us a bit more about what you're achieving, what success you've had, what kind of clients you like to work with, what kind of focus you're having. Introduce one of your staff members, whatever the case may be, but just keep active.
Okay, I like it. That makes sense. All right. So can I ask you another question then? It'd be around a lot of people, they want to post on LinkedIn, but then they feel so awkward that they put themselves out there that then they post, but they don't write much in the comments. They're not writing a direct message, for example, to someone who commented really insightfully. Like, how do you get your clients to go from posting to posting and interacting?
Exactly right. So that's the 4 pillars of social selling, where I get my name from too, is about, one is about the profile, the other one is about connecting with people. But the third one for me is the most important one of all, which they call it the thought leadership or the interaction. And the latest research has come through from people like Richard Vanderbloom. If you're not following him, you should follow Richard, the LinkedIn guru, and there's others too. Jasmine Alex is another one. They're saying that interaction and commenting is the most important part now of LinkedIn. Be part of a conversation is important. So what I try to get with my clients is, as soon as someone has commented on your post, you need to get in there and respond. Even if it's Michael saying, "Hey, Connor, I love this post." Like, sorry, thanks, Michael. Really appreciate your support. Looking forward to doing a lot more of these things. That's it. That they call it the golden hour of LinkedIn. You probably heard this, Michael. So within the first 60 to 90 minutes of a post going up, if someone's interacted with it, you need to interact with them. And if no one has interacted in the first 60 minutes, you interact with your own post. So put a comment to your own post and say, "Hi guys, I mentioned this article. Here's the full link." Or further to my post above, I want to also add blah, blah, blah. All right. So create that, because LinkedIn loves conversations. And then what we find with the algorithm that's been changing, LinkedIn is now going to focus a lot more on value-added conversations and content, not that generic stuff. So what I'm trying to do now with myself and my clients is become more technical, as opposed to more narrow rather than more broad. Makes sense? So that's the important part. So advice to your clients and my clients is interact, comment. But please, please, don't just give me a like. Don't give me a smiley face. Don't give me an insightful. You can do those, and I do those too, but that's when I'm scrolling through. But the posts that I really enjoy, leave me a comment. "Hey, Michael, this was great. I really enjoyed watching you on video. You always make me laugh." Done. It's more than 3 or 4 words. LinkedIn sees that and goes, "Wow, there's a conversation here. Let's keep promoting."
Mate, that makes perfect sense. So, Con, you teach a lot more than that. Okay. What else do you teach people?
Okay, so we talked about those pillars of social selling. The first one was your profile. The second one is connecting with people. And we've talked about that one a little bit too. The third one is that thought leadership or sharing insights. The fourth one is about nurturing. And this is one where I think a lot of people do not do. You do it very well, Michael. You are one of the best I've seen in it. And what you said before, you do it via video, or you might do it via audio. People want to realize that you can use video and audio as a follow-up in a DM or direct message. And this is where people are failing to actually nurture the relationship. My view, have a spreadsheet, whatever you may use in Navigate, or use a spreadsheet, the people you're connected with, the people you've spoken to, put a little diary entry or put a little note. Have a spoken, when the last time you've spoken to Michael, that next time you speak to him, send an audio. "Hey, Michael, been a while, just wanted to check in. How are you, buddy? Hope you can have a long weekend. Great long weekend. Talk to you soon." That's all it takes. It's not a sales pitch. No, no, no. We never, ever, ever sell on social. "Hey, Michael, how are you? It's been a while since we've spoken. Just checking in to see how you are." It's part of that sort of "are you okay" process. It's part of that mental health process. It's part about you connecting. But it also keeps you in their mind. And they might say, "Oh, thanks, Con. Thanks for checking in. I'm great, mate. Thanks, mate. Really busy at the moment. Talk to you soon." That's all right. That's great. If you get a reaction like that, that means they still remember you. So once a month, next time, send a video. "Hey, buddy, it's me again. I haven't seen you. I haven't spoken to you for a while. I thought I'd do something different here. Let's do a video." Bang. Do a video message to them. They go, "Wow."
Wow. I'm really learning something here. Okay. That's clever.
So just change it up. Change your formats. There, an audio, a video, and then the next one again, when you're checking in, a text. And maybe the text could be, again, not selling, but it's about maybe a blog you've done recently about LinkedIn. You might say, hey, I want to share this blog about how you can connect more effectively on LinkedIn. Yeah, you're a great mate of mine. I really enjoy our conversations. Here's a link to it. Hope you like it. I don't want you to rate it. I don't want you to share it. I hope you like it. And then you, if you like it, of course, what are you going to do? As human beings, we share it. Hey, great post here by Con. It's a great blog I've read recently. You're not pushing, but you're just sharing. So nurturing is very, very important. Very, very important. So those are 4 pillars: profile, connecting, thought leadership, content creation, very, very important, and nurturing. Nurture, nurture, nurture. My words to my clients is make yourself memorable.
Oh, what you're saying is gold. You know what? There's this quirky thing. Okay, can I get a bit quirky for a sec? Okay, so firstly, everyone listening, they're like, "Oh, Michael and Con, they're such confident people." Bull, I have the same confidence issues anyone else has. I might have to just deal with them more often. But it's like when I started the LinkedIn course, because everyone was saying, "How do I do this? How do I do that?" And I'm like, "This is taking me my whole life." I was just like, "Create a course." I built it so that initially it's really just get your profile right and start posting. But and there are some people who only do that component. That's like just dipping your toe in the water, but that's all they need to get started. But like today, for example, one of the guys on the course finished that part of the course and he's not doing the rest. And I'm like, man, he's so smart, but what he's not going to learn is how to do video. He's not going to learn how to do direct messages. He's not going to learn how to have genuine relationships and connect other people with other people. The things that move the needle are not what everyone thinks move the needle. Like what?
Especially with the algorithm changes, Michael. You're so right. Video, DMing is so important.
It's like if you don't send someone a message, you're not a connection. You're a stranger.
Yeah. Correct.
I see people down the street I've never talked to. They're strangers. So if I see someone showing up on my feed, but I've never spoken to them or at least messaged them, I don't know, Con. What's going through your head?
Well, I get these connection requests, right? And the moment recently, the last couple of days, I did a post on personal branding. I've got these messages from people in Dubai, people in the United States, but I talked about personal branding in NDIS. And these responses came back, oh, but and I thought to myself, hold it, I'm going to call this out. So I wrote to a couple of them, a couple disappeared straight away. So AI generated responses. Now, with all due respect, I love my overseas connections, I really do. But guys, NDIS is uniquely Australian. NDIS is in Australia and Australia only. Unless you're like Michael, myself, and the other providers watching and listening who've lived it, breathed it, are active in it, you really can't comment on the intricacies of NDIS. So please don't try to comment on my post about the intricacies of NDIS when you're not in the space. So I called them out. They were AI responses. None of them come back. I said, oh, thank you for your AI generated response. I'm curious as someone in Saudi Arabia would know about NDIS. I'm sure you Googled it. I'm sure you would have chat GPT'd it, but let me know what you know about it. I'm happy to have a conversation with you about it. Nothing.
Yeah.
Okay. So be wary of those type of commentaries. So I've said a lot there, but Michael, the aim of that particular part was to educate people that if you're going to write something, make sure it's value add, make sure it's topical, and make sure you need to do 2 things. You have some sort of call to action. That could be something simple as love to hear your stories too, or love to hear how you do, Michael. You do well. What do you guys think on this? What's your thoughts on this? I love the one where you were running away by video. You were running away and hiding somewhere in the bushes and all that.
I was being fouled down by the cafe owners. I remember. Yeah.
Yes, chased over our cafe owners. I love that. That was also. Then he said, "Okay, I'll see you soon." Look, you left us in intrigue. It was one of the like watching one of those movie. What's going to happen next? You left us in intrigue. Okay, I might see you soon. If not, please send me a posse or something like that. Yeah, so it was really good. So that's a call to action to some extent. It's not buy my stuff or come and connect with me or have a call, but it's a call to action. Love to hear your thoughts or tell us more about your experiences. Or what do you think about this topic? Or that's a call to action. When people interact with your post, that's what you want. Interactions. The more interactions you get, the more the impressions will go up. Dinka asked me a question once, do I measure impressions? Impressions are good, but they're not a good measure of how successful your post is going to be. Impression means it's come up on a feed. And that means, well, did Michael look at it? I don't know. It's come up on his feed. Michael could have scrolled up past it. So it is relevant to some extent. but it's not something that I measure actively. For me, it's about engagements. It's about commentary. It's about interactions, those type of things. It's about resharing, and if they've saved it. If someone saves your post, it's gold. LinkedIn goes, if there people are saving this post, this is awesome. And that's why carousels work very well. Carousels with little bits of information, every slide, people usually save them. I actually print some of them. So people save them. So when there's information on each slide, it's got a particular step, a particular process. And Michael, I think you should be doing more carousels, by the way. That's just me.
As you're saying that, I'm sitting here going,
So yeah.
wow.
More a step-by-step process on something, or some stats or information. They work very, very well because people got to flick across to the next one. And secondly, they're gaining interaction and connection.
Con, you're teaching me stuff. This is amazing. Like if I'm honest, I've learned more in the last 6 months from you about LinkedIn than from anyone else. Okay. Like,
Thanks, I appreciate that.
yeah. And you and I, we both spend a lot of time learning because I mean, if I'm driving for a couple of hours, I'll just have LinkedIn information playing for me. Like on YouTube, people teaching you how to use LinkedIn.
Yes.
Like we spend a lot of time learning, but the guts of it is if you were an NDIS provider today, let's say you have 30 participants, they say you have 3 staff. Let's imagine you live in, I don't know, Newcastle. Okay.
Yep.
I could have said Perth, but I'm used to them always feeling left out. Let's keep them feeling left out. I'm sorry, Perth people. Okay, let's say you live in Newcastle.
Yeah.
Say you were doing community access, as in getting people out in the community, getting them to not just to the shops to do their shopping, but actually in groups, living life. What would you be doing on LinkedIn? What would be your 1 week goal? What would be your 3-month goal? What would you do?
Okay. What works very well in those situations is visuals. Again, you've got to protect the client. So a post about going out with clients with a picture from the back. So you're not identifying the individual with a support worker helping them at the local shop. Or maybe a video, again, just filming it, not showing the individual because we've got to be careful of the client, but just show maybe their legs, just scanning their legs and show the kitchen where the support worker is cooking the meal, or showing them putting them in the car without any pictures of putting them in the car and taking them to a community event. If I was a provider doing community access, I would be showing and advocating a lot more of my staff. And in fact, I'll be getting them to do them and also providing back to me, and I'll be editing them and putting them up as the owner or the social media manager. So community access ones, it's a bit like I wrote a post around how do people sell seal houses, and this is probably diverging a bit, but there might be some seal providers watching this. Whenever I look at a post about someone who's got a seal vacancy, what do you see? It's close to shops. It's close to a hospital. It's got a person there who's 40 years old, who's got ASD. Okay, and it's in this location. But what they're missing, what are they missing, Mike? What do you think they're missing the most out of that?
How do you see it from art? They're just selling vanilla. I want
Correct.
vanilla ice cream in my life.
Correct. What they're missing out is on that connection, that interaction. Show us the house inside. Show us the individual. You've got this 40-year-old individual there. Show us he or her in the house maneuvering around. Show us the surroundings. This might be a great house on its own, but the house next door, the one across the road, might be a dump. All right, so give me more. Don't just tell me location. I know you're in property, that's important.
Or even just facts. You're saying it's not
Exactly. Give us some facts. Give us information. So when you're promoting a seal house vacancy, make it more intimate, more interactive. Not just hospital, shops, this and that. Give me more. And the same what I say with these community access providers. Don't just tell me you do community access, testimonials. No, just put actual participant. We have to believe you. We're not going to go and chase you, but actual participant said this. Testimonials work very well. Also, if you've got a team and they're part of your infrastructure, they're not a contractor, but they're part of your permanent staff members, employee advocacy programs on LinkedIn. Get them all to have a LinkedIn profile, get them all to be connected to your company page, and get them all to be under your banner, and get them all to share everything your company page posts, or everything you as a director posts, or everything they post. So there's got to be a connection with the team that kind of Michael on the same team. Everything Michael posts, I get notified, I reshare it or comment on it. Everything Con posts, Michael reshares a comment on it. Everything Con and Michael posts, the company will reshare it and post. That's called advocacy. I don't know who Michael's connected with. Michael doesn't know who I'm connected with. the more eyes we get on the content, the better for all of us.
Mate, that's what you're doing is you're actually saying to NDIS providers, put some time and effort into LinkedIn. It doesn't mean throw huge amounts of time on a million. We don't need more posts of here's our, come to our open home. Okay, we don't need like that's Facebook world. That's you don't do that.
Oh, we've got an opening. We've got a grand opening of this particular house. Great.
I don't care.
There's a barbecue. Whoopie-doo. I'll get a chop or maybe I'll get a drink.
That's right. It's like
Who's going to meet there?
sorry,
Who else is going to be there?
I missed that. What did you say? Sorry.
So tell me also who you're opening up to. Are going to be providers? Going to be health professionals? Are going to be plan managers? Will there be support coordinators there? Give me something. What kind of people are going to be coming to this event?
I'm not.
If I decide I'm coming, send me a list and say, hey, Con, I know you're coming, really appreciate it. Just give you indication this is who we've got so far coming. When you go for that list, people don't share them. Why are we sharing those lists? Why are we not sharing them?
You're right.
Okay, if you're going to an event, put a little box saying you agreed to us using, this as a marketing tool. Get permission. Once I tick that, share that list with Michael and Con. Say, hey, Michael, you're coming to this grand opening of this house. Just let you know, he's so far who else is registered. How good is that?
Well, that's certainly quirky. I've never heard of it. Like, I'd have to think that one through. That's
Yeah,
it's a level.
speaking, there is some privacy considerations and those things in there, but if Michael knows the content, but he's going to say, wow, I'm going to go to that event, but you know what? I'll get to meet Con, and Con's got a great network. He's going to introduce me to some other people.
You're right. Like, there's magic there, but it's not the point. The point is you're saying use your LinkedIn innovatively. Like, there's an idea that I don't know if I would do that myself, but I can see how innovative it is, and I can think of others who would have the setup to do that safely. Whereas it's like, I'm just like, wow, I'll learn so much from you. And people think, oh, Michael knows everything about LinkedIn, or Con knows everything about LinkedIn. Con knows 4%, and Michael knows probably less than 4%. Because it all comes.
No one knows everything, Michael. No one knows everything.
That's right.
You've got some great skills in what you do. You know video better than me. You've got some video crafting, which is much, much better than mine. And I'll give you that credit. You've got some positioning, some branding, which is much, much better than mine. So together, we work together. So like you, I observe a lot what other people do. I follow certain LinkedIn gurus out there. I follow Michael. I follow Tanya. I follow Paul. I follow others, James Loveday. So like I said in the beginning, I'll just say it again, maybe it got cut out for that way out, but I have, instead of the 4 or 5 categories of people that I've on LinkedIn, I have my thinker, who's James Loveday. Anything about NDIS and deep thinking, I'll go to James
He is
Loveday.
the smartest NDIS brain I know of. He is
He's an amazing person. And I love him to death, and he's watching this. Good on you, James. Bobby C is my innovator. Bobby is always at the edge of innovation. Bobby, if you ever not following Bobby C from Wise Healthcare, please do. He's always looking to innovate and be more creative. He does a lot of coffees and lunch and learns. He does a lot of big events too, but he's also more at the innovation. Tanya Gomez is my networker, my technical guru. So Tanya, I love Tanya. Her networking ability, her ability to connect, to provide events is awesome. You are my video inspiration. And I put you in the same level with David Dinka. Yeah, David Dinka is more a provider. You're a more individual consultant. But Dinka is inspirational. He's just so creative in his videos.
He's courageous as can be. He'll say whatever he thinks is true.
And he can be. Whereas I find you are more, you are courageous, but you're more message and focused on getting that message, whether it's been in the bushes, hiding from cafe owners, or whether it's telling us about why networking doesn't work and all that. You always got a message and you're in your videos. And Dinka does too, but Dinka's more courageous. They're the 4 categories I have of people that I follow on LinkedIn.
That's amazing. Okay, so hearing that, I'm like, the thing that someone listening to this podcast can do is they can realize if you want to actually see each post someone does, you have to hit that magic bell when you're on their profile. Now, I don't hit it very often. So for me, the students that are in my coaching or course, I want to see what they're posting the first week or two. So if they're doing something silly, I can go, hey, maybe let's do it this way. But I don't want to have my world flooded by other people's posts. But the thing is, you're saying that when you find someone who's gold, you can do that. You can see what they're doing. But it's like any NDIS provider needs to understand, I think, one thing, Con, which is if you want referrals and you're not on LinkedIn, you're doing it the hard way.
Correct.
That's it. And the other,
and it works, Sparkle. You know that, I know that, it works.
probably more than 90% of the work I get is through LinkedIn. And it's not even me saying, hey, buy my stuff. It's just people messaging me going, hey, can you?
Exactly right. Exactly right. It works. And providers need to start connecting with other
I
providers.
need to put
And I say to them,
in as well.
yeah, but I've got a couple of providers as well, but he's more competition. No, he's not. He or she one day will be busy and they're going to be looking for someone to be able to support them with their clients. What are they going to say? They're going to say, I wonder if there's another complex care nurse I know. Oh, yeah, I do. The guy I met at this expo. Hey, listen, we're really getting smacked here. We've got a bit of overflow. We'd love to share some of our clients with you, but they're our clients. But we want you to take care of them for the time being. Beautiful. That's called collaboration. That's what we're all about in the industry, collaborating. So work with even competitors. There's an old saying, keep your friends closer, keep your enemies closer.
Yeah.
I say keep your connections closer, but keep your competitors even closer because one day they're going to be smacked with business. They're going to be looking for someone to work with, to collaborate with.
Let's go.
And that's what I've always taken that attitude. Always the competitors, other people in your same sort of field, stay close, stay connected because you never know where the opportunity might arise.
I love it. Every business I've ever run, I've tried to find the competitors and then I've tried to go out for coffee with them. Because
Correct.
one, if you have a problem later, they're going to know how you can solve it. And
Correct.
they don't want you to die. Like they want, like they're, like when you think
Yeah.
about someone could go, oh, Michael and Con are competitors. Like hell we are. There's 200,000 people who would want either one of us. And I send people to you, Con, when they want fiddly stuff that I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that. Is this like,
And that's what I look about what Tanya does. Tanya's into it for the bigger picture, and she'll say to people, you know what, go to this person. I love when Tanya does that. And she says, I don't know everything, but I got people around me that know stuff. And she did a post on AI the other day. She tagged me. She goes, Conzi, it's AI. I'll tag you.
yeah,
So Tanya does that very well, and people need to do that a lot more. When you know there's someone else who may be able to help you in that industry, tag them
that's right.
for sure. It's sharing the love, and also that person appreciates.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate it. And then, but when they see themselves tagged in, they're going to comment.
Correct.
And again, that's
Correct.
for more people seeing us.
Exactly. What happens then? Comment, interaction, creation of more impressions and engagements.
That's right. And mate, you and I, like you live in lived experience world. You told me before you got to go and take your son out. What adventures are you taking your son out for today?
Oh, well, we try to go. He's got a bit of a job at the moment, but he's also looking for another job. So we do that. He goes to he's managed to find a provider, has weekend excursions and those type of events. So he goes to various excursions there. Look, he's 32 years old. He drives on his own. He'll go to events on his own too now. So he's pretty capable in that way. But he's also a big gamer. So he likes to go to gaming places and also gaming online. So he's got a variety in his life. But more importantly for us is to get him settled into a permanent job. And hopefully from there he can get a career and have something to look forward to. So he's got a bit of time in his hands. But my aim in life is to get him a permanent job, something he can settle into and something he can have going forward.
All right. Well, let's just put this out there. What part of Melbourne are you in? What sort of permanent job would suit your son? Just in case someone out there is looking to employ your son.
Okay, we're in the east, but he's happy to go in the CBD. But he's the job he's just done. He did 13, 14 weeks induction with a coding company. So done coding, the Java, Python, and all that language stuff. So he's got some really good experience in that. He's also got some great experience in computers. And he's also got he's done hotel experience in hospitality. So actually still works 1 day a week in the hospitality industry as a back room cleaner, dishwashing, helping the kitchen staff get the dishes ready and all that. So he's got a variety of skills.
Well, guess what? His dad lives on LinkedIn. I'm seeing a couple of posts coming up. Imagine, okay, let's say, and its providers listening to this are like, how can I use this? All right, let's imagine if Con, your mission was, if someone took your puppy hostage and said you can't have your puppy back to your son as a job, you'd be like, right, you'd be putting on LinkedIn, I know what you'd be putting, here's what my son does for fun. I know what I'd be putting, here's how my son does this for fun, right?
And again, the job he got, just quickly this, sorry, Mark, the job he did get, those 13 weeks, we got it off LinkedIn. I met this lovely lady. We let this lovely lady connected on LinkedIn, had a conversation with her. She picked up John as a challenge and she managed to get him a job. So it did work. I mean, it was because of my connections in the industry and because of my knowledge of the industry, I found. So now we're going to go, that company's now going into different things. So now looking for new providers. I'm looking at a couple of our employee support providers. I've got a couple in mind that I'm going to connect with and further explore. But it's going to work via LinkedIn. The connection is going to happen on LinkedIn. The first interaction is going to be, hey, I'll be watching you on LinkedIn. I've got a son who now needs some support. Please outline what you can do for him. So I'm going to be asking for a sales pitch, but that's me inviting the sales pitch.
Yeah, that's a very different thing.
Because I've seen these guys active on LinkedIn. This is the thing, they've been active on LinkedIn. I know who they are. I can now approach them because I've connected with them. I've liked one or two of their posts. When I approach them, they're going to say, "Hi, Con, we've seen you on LinkedIn as well. What can we do to help your son?" Bang.
That is amazing. Let's put a bet out there. I'll bet a coffee and cake, okay, that if you do 2 posts in the next fortnight about the process and journey of helping your son to get into employment, I'll bet you a coffee and cake that you'll get at least 1 or 2 people who are like, "We'd love to have him." Okay?
Yeah.
Is that a bet you and I game on?
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure you will with it easily.
Yeah.
You will with it.
Find out. Okay, then he's got a job. I don't have to buy someone coffee and cake. And tag me in so that I can let people I know about it. Because if
for
I
sure.
can help him, I absolutely would. And this,
I'm crafting posts this weekend. I'm going to see how we go.
love it. And this here, everyone listening, they're like, "What's Michael and Con doing? We're living out what we do on LinkedIn. We're just, how can I help?" Sort of attitude. This is the joy of it. Well, Con, this has probably been the most fun the most fun podcast I've done. I know you've got to take your son out now, but thank you so much for your time. Thank you for sharing those ideas. And I'm not.
That's still available. Michael, if you're able to give people maybe a month to implement some of the stuff you and I have been talking about. You can share it via your course. I'll share via my processes. And then maybe we'll come and revisit and we can have some case studies where people say, "Hey, I did what you guys told me to, and this is what happened." Or I've explored this further. This is what happened. I'd love to have that bit of case study back into a conversation again when we later is.
And they can even look, anyone listening to this who applies something that Con said or I have said, message us. We're open to it. Tell us what you did.
Because it definitely, yeah, we'd love to hear your stories.
Right. We're not going to.
Because remember this, Michael, you and I are still learning.
Yes.
You're still growing. By hearing these stories, we can know what's hitting the mark, what's not hitting the mark, what we need to adjust. We're also learning about the LinkedIn algorithm. I always say this about the LinkedIn algorithm. It's like the KFC, the Colonel Sanders secret recipe. Everyone's tried to replicate it. No one's ever been able to understand it.
Yeah.
LinkedIn algorithm, and look, and I'll say this, Michael or Con, we don't know it inside out. No one does. Don't let any LinkedIn person tell you they know the LinkedIn algorithm. I don't. I'm the first one to say. But I try.
And you know what works.
If it did.
Because every time you do a post in your head,
Correct.
Did that work or did
I track it. I track it. I evaluate it. I know what's working. I read a lot. I research a lot. So I'm listening to other people too. That's what's working.
Love it. All right, mate. I better take your son where you got to go.
Take care.
Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks, Michael.
Love you.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.